Hey guys, this is Miss Johnson. Today we're going to talk about perfect squares, okay? And using that to simplify what we call radicals. So, what is a radical? No, it's not somebody from the 1960s. In mathematics, it's a symbol that asks ourselves the question, what times itself is the number inside the radical? So the square root of 4 means what times itself is 4? 2, which is correct. So when I'm looking at the square root of 36, I'm asking myself the question, what times itself is 36? Oh, 6. Notice that you get a pair of numbers. And when you have a pair, you can take one out. So it's like going to a dance. You and your friend go to the dance, and then you go out to the dance floor to dance. You two people make one couple on the dance floor. So, what times itself is 100? 10 times 10. So we have two of the same number. So how many can we take out? 1. So the 10 goes on the outside of the radical. Okay? And I'll let you write number 2 on your own. So let's look at the square root of 8. Now, 36 and 100 are all called something special. They're called perfect squares. There are quite a few of them. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64. Now, why are they called perfect squares? Because we can make squares out of their dimensions. So 2 by 2, 9 is 3 by 3, and so on and so forth. So, can you draw a square using 8 blocks? Nope. How about 12? Can you draw a square using 12? No. So we were able to simplify the radicals. No, because they're not perfect squares. So the question we have here is, can we simplify them at all? Okay? So let's see if we can figure something out. Well, we know that square root of 4 is the same thing as saying 2 times 2. We have 2 inside, so we can take 1 out. The square root of 9 is 3 times 3. 2 inside, we can take 1 out. Square root of 16 is 4 times 4. 2 inside, we can take 1 4 out. Square root of 100, 10 times 10. We can take 1 10 out. Square root of 8. Well, let's see if there exists 2 of the same number in 8. So let's look at our perfect squares. Do any of these multiply to make 8? Well, 4 times 2. So maybe we write this as the square root of 4 as 2 times 4. And then we write that as square root of 4 times 2. We notice that the 4 is the same thing as saying 2 times 2 and square root of 2. Here's your couple. So you can take 1, 2 out. This person's single, so he stays inside the radical. And that's actually simplified. It's going to be easier to work with later on. So that's going to be our technique. So let's look at 12. Are there any perfect squares in 12? Well, we can write 12 as 4 times 3. Now, the square root of 4, again, there's a couple. There's 2 2's. So we can take 1 2 out. The 3 is single, though, so it remains inside the radical. Okay? I'm going to give you guys some time to do the square root of 20. Okay, so you're noticing that I can, instead of having to rewrite 4 as 2 times 2, you just find the square root of 4, which is 2. And is 5 a perfect square? No, so it remains inside the radical. How about 18? What's a perfect square that multiplies to make 18? 1 and 18, okay, useless. 4 and 18, no. 9 goes in 18, yes, 2 times. So we're going to write this as the square root of 9 times 2. But what is the square root of 9? So 3 square roots of 2. How about 50? 1, no, okay. 4, no. 9, no. 16, no. 25, yes. So square root of 25 times 2. But what is square root of 25? So this is 5 square roots of 2. Okay, I'm going to let you do square root of 40 on your own. I'll give you the answer in about 30 seconds. Two square roots of 10. Because remember, if you break down 10 into 2 and 5, there are no couples. There's only singles, so you can't break down 10 anymore. So what did you notice about your answers? They were able to take out the perfect squares. So how do we really simplify it? We factor it, looking for the perfect squares. Couples go out, and the single numbers stay in. All right, so I'm going to give you guys about a minute to try to do the square root of 32. Do, 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 do. This is probably annoying. I'll stop. All right, so what's the biggest perfect square that makes 32? 16. Can we write this as a square root of 16 times 2? And so we can break that up as square root of 16 times 2. Square root of 2. But what is the square root of 16? So this is 4 square roots of 2. And that's our investigation.